8:22 on Morning Live. Last week we showed you this stunning photo of a couple in Saskatchewan who used a twister in the background for their wedding pics. It's part of a big trend, actually. Jen O'Brien, online editor of Wedding Bells magazine, is here with some other examples and brand new issue just out this week.
Exactly. So yeah, I think social media has really changed the wedding landscape. These events that were, it started out as very private, just with your family and close friends, have turned into these kind of public events.
Look what we did,
exactly.
kind of thing.
There's just this pressure to have these really buzzworthy celebrations that produce these really original wedding photos. And most recently, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, of course, we heard that they spent 4 days during their honeymoon photoshopping
one
photo for Instagram. So it's like,
there are other things to do when you're on honeymoon.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Exactly.
But it's just, it illustrates this pressure to really have these really amazing, beautiful photos that people are going to share with, magazines and websites like ours and on Pinterest and maybe collected by brides all over the world. So
okay, let's take a look at some of the photos then that we've got here. So this first one.
So this is part of the trash the dress trend, and this has been around for 7 or 8 years, apparently started by a photographer in Las Vegas who is, he'd grown tired of shooting that beautiful bride against the beautiful backdrop in her beautiful gown. He really wanted to play with some juxtaposition that he saw in fashion shoots. So he was taking brides to these more gritty environments, and I think this, the shots underwater, clearly the most popular of the trash the dress trends, but we've also seen brides being splattered with paint, being in the mud, and having their dresses lit on fire.
Lit on fire. Like so you say this isn't photoshopped?
We have seen, there might be some effects added to this, but
okay, please don't try this at home.
Yeah, exactly, but people are actually burning their wedding dresses for these photos. Aren't there other things you can do with your couture gown? I think
yeah,
so.
You spent all that money on this. And then there's some extreme weather things too where, okay, if you're in a situation where, like, this is a forest fire, is this in California?
This is in Oregon, actually.
Oregon, okay.
So yeah, you saw the shot at the beginning of the segment in Saskatchewan, and this is another example, but we've seen, couples in floods, and couples are willing to brave just about any type of natural disaster to get these fantastic shots. And so, it really makes you think twice about being worried about rain on your wedding day, right?
Yes, okay, maybe you embrace it. And there's now I have to tell you that our producer, Don, is convinced that some of these are Photoshopped. He thinks this is Photoshopped. I don't know.
I think it was just a coincidence, I guess a happy coincidence for them and for the photographer who got a lot of media coverage for this, for sure.
Okay, let's take a look at some more pictures here.
So, okay,
this is Photoshopped.
Yeah, this is clearly Photoshopped, obviously. So we've seen this extreme Photoshopping with, zombies and Transformers and dinosaurs, everything being Photoshopped into these photos of, like, the wedding couple running away. And, this is not for everyone, but, if you have that secret geeky obsession with something, it's a cool way to work it into your wedding. Celebrate it. Yeah, without having, like, a full-fledged Game of Thrones wedding or zombie wedding, right, where people have to dress up. It's a little extreme.
Right, so all the guests don't have to be part of this, but it's the wedding party afterwards, and we got some more here.
Fun.
I like this one because this isn't wacky, but this shows that what this couple is all about.
Right. So this is sort of incorporating a creative concept into your wedding photos without going so extreme. So this couple had a canoe trip wedding, a camping wedding. So they did, rather than even just sitting in the canoe, they did this thing with it on their heads. It clearly illustrates who they are as a couple, which I think is really special.
And that they work together.
Yeah, exactly. And this one too. This is from a photographer in Manitoba. Actually, the bride was she owned a stationery company, so they all lined up like paper dolls.
That's really cute.
It's nice instead of just having a normal group shot. You have to have those textbook shots, obviously, your first kiss and your first dance.
Yes.
But, incorporate something maybe with a fun prop or with a fun backdrop that really explains who you are as a couple and depicts that and gives you something special for your wedding album.
Right. And we've got about 30 seconds left, but I want to bring up too, with social media, we're getting so many guests at weddings now posting things before the bride and groom do, and I kind of see weddings like that, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know. If I were a bride, I don't know.
I think you need to sort of set it, if you want people not to do that, I think you need to say that maybe ahead of time.
Yeah.
If you're going to incorporate a hashtag into your wedding day, then I think, it's sort of
full game.
It's
a free for all at that point, yes.
But if you really would rather not have people posting anything until you do, say that on your invites or you save the dates and make sure people know that. And usually guests are respectful once they know ahead of time.
Okay, that's good. Brought a lot of fun photos in, Jen. Thanks so much. And we've got more Morning Live coming up at 8:30. Stay with us.